Okay, so let me get this straight right out of the gate for you guys because I already know where some of the comments will head with what I'm about to say in this video, so we'll get it over with. Number 1, I do not promote or respect the usage of any slurs in any video games. 2, I am a believer in Epic Games' moderation, and if they are slacking in any way with it, that should be very high on their priority list so we can take care of some serious issues. Number 3, one of the major issues that is not exactly like a here and there, it happens sometimes case is how women are treated in video games, and specifically Fortnite Delulu, and I want to make a separate video discussing that issue in its entirety. Now, 4, I'm going to be very critical of the Fortnite community in this video. This is not directed towards anyone being upset about legitimately hateful people logging on and using slurs. That's understandable to be upset about, and Epic should take care of situations like that. I am going to be talking about the people who have more concerns than that and maybe hide behind some of those issues. Now that we have those ground rules set, there is absolutely 100% no reason for any of you to take what I say in this video, spin it out of context, and do some sort of mental gymnastics to equate this video with me being comfortable with the usage of any bad words or slurs used in a video game. I need you to watch this video, I need you to listen to this video, be respectful, normal human beings, and if you choose to listen to what I have to say, I do not want to hear anything related to that in the comments or on social media, like what happened with this post over here. And we'll talk a little bit about that, okay? With all of that out of the way in this long intro, we need to, guys, have a serious talk about the state of Fortnite Delulu, because what we have on our hands right now is something that so many of us, a lot of people that aren't exactly part of the Fortnite community as well, this is something a lot of us have been asking for a very long time. And the loud minority online are trying to take that away from us because they end up getting butthurt over something. One situation here and there. One clip that went viral and they don't even play the game. Things like that. Now, one thing that I do want to get out of the way with this video, I understand that situations to like the maximum level, I will say, they take place and more often than they should, where someone is online and their goal isn't to play Fortnite Delulu, but it's to spam slurs, follow people around, harassing them, things like that. That's beyond unpleasant, to put it nicely, and I understand that these situations do take place, okay? But is the answer to this really just to get rid of Fortnite Delulu? The reason that I'm making this video today is because we are seeing more and more posts go viral. There was one in particular that went viral a couple days ago about someone experiencing this type of thing, and they follow every post, which is tags at Epic Games and Fortnite saying, hey, we need to get rid of Fortnite Delulu. What we need to be real about is that within the millions of people who play Fortnite, these situations are actually a small handful of interactions that people have. I'm not justifying it for those of you horny to find something to blow up about, but a lot of the conversations surrounding this mode in Fortnite Delulu will literally consist of something like this, like, oh, most people who play Fortnite Delulu are racist and homophobic. First off, that's a very serious accusation to start throwing around, and the more that you throw it around meaninglessly, the less serious that people will take it. Secondly, guys, it's just not true. It's flat out not true. How could you possibly say that every time you load into a match with 80 to 100% of players, 80 to 100 players, most of them are hateful people? It's not true, and it's dishonest to suggest that it is. And it's a very unpleasant and dangerous accusation to throw at people. And I know what you might be thinking, guys, and it's because it's something that I also often say on the channel, but the online Fortnite community is just a fraction of the player base that's just loud. Yes, okay, that's actually true, and we'll touch more on that little, bubble of insecurity in a moment, but it's very likely that these are the same loud people who took imposters away from us, something that was very loved by the community. One situation happens out of thousands of games, and that's all that you see online. They're constantly sharing it, reposting, doing anything to spread it within the algorithm, and I get it. I understand negativity is always something that will go viral, right? But what about the vast majority of positive interactions that people who have had playing this mode? Why are the handful of bad apples who play Fortnite being the ones that we're sharing around? It's insane, and I get it. Negativity, it gets in the algorithm. I understand, but why is that the thing that we're focusing on? Also, guys, most of us, the majority, know that these people will always use the most extreme cases to justify their sensitivity in video games. We all know that most people who are crying about this mode haven't experienced the maximum level of negativity, I will say. You know why? Because you have people who are oftentimes talking about this who look like me. Pasty, white, and Irish. We don't experience this slur usage very often, And why is it that we're the ones talking about it the most? You could say it's the nice, right thing to do, but if you look a little bit deeper into most people, you'll oftentimes find one of two things, okay? The first being something that I talk about a lot on this channel, that being anyone that goes online, going really, really overboard, defending people and speaking on behalf of particular people. Oftentimes, guys, and I'm correct when I say this, okay? Oftentimes, they're the ones with the biggest skeletons in their closet. The people that you see talking about slurs the most usually have a clip of them somewhere, dropping the hard R. And then they go online trying to overcorrect. So if that clip ever does come out, they might be able to hide behind the how nice and kind they've been all over the place. Most of us just go through life disapproving of that behavior and putting our own best step forward. Most people would go around, condemning things like in their own personal lives, but not making like the biggest deal under the sun about it. You understand what I'm talking about? There's a line that these people take it through, where it's like, oh my God, this is the absolute worst thing under the sun, and Epic Games, we need to ban this person. Like, you get my point. It's normal to not want these things to take place in video games. I'm talking about the people who are overcorrecting. Those are the people that you have to worry about. Secondly, guys, they always talk about, slurs because it's the maximum level of toxicity per se, because there's no defending it. You'll have someone who's crying because someone killed them in a battle royale game, and normal people will sit down and they'll tell them to relax and get over it. Then those same people will turn around and they'll say, oh, I'm just glad that you're comfortable with people saying slurs online. I know exactly what kind of person you are. And then you have to get into some sort of a ridiculous conversation where you have to point out that, hey, stupid, you're fighting a ghost, because realistically, who's okay with the usage of slurs online in a video game? But that's exactly how they end up hiding behind their insecurities. And it's a little bit of a smart tactic, to be honest with you. The reality is, most people you see complaining are complaining because they can't handle dying in a video game or trash talk in a video game. So they hide behind what I just mentioned. If you were to sit a lot of these people down and force them to have a reasonable and honest conversation with you, once you tell them that you hate that there are truly hateful people out there and those people should be dealt with, they should be banned, they should never be allowed to play a video game, they'll be like, yeah. And then if you were to ask them if they would then be comfortable allowing all other forms of speech within a video game, that's exactly where you'll find your answer. That's exactly where they'll start, yapping about toxicity, how they were just doing their fun little quirky emote down the street and someone sniped them, and God forbid they laughed at you while you were down. God forbid somebody told you to drop your weapons. You see, these are the majority of the situations we're talking about here. And if you were to sit these people down and make them speak honestly, that's what you would find about their opinion. And I will say it one more time for you guys. Epic Games should absolutely 100% be on the ball, taking reports very seriously. And I've heard they've been on the ball with that, okay? But hey, if it's not good enough, then they absolutely need to improve. This moderation is something that they need to take seriously. This is something that we all agree on. I know they mentioned, banning thousands of people already, but the answer to this isn't to scrap the entire mode. It's to eliminate the bad apples, and supposedly that's what Epic Games has been doing. I wish that we had something like where we knew if Epic Games was sending out those hey, we took action things 100% of the time. I don't know if you ever find out what happens to your reports, but they'll take care of it slowly. Just voice report, that's what it's for. But something that these people, guys, they need to get through their heads is that when you're playing a video game, it's not the end of the world when someone kills you. Yeah, sometimes you play Fortnite Delulu and you die off spawn. Yes, people are going to kill you. It's still a battle royale game. Delulu literally says to make friends and break friends. Just because you died a few times off spawn doesn't mean that there's an inherently toxic player base. Just because someone betrayed you in Fortnite Delulu doesn't mean that Epic Games needs to scrap and vault the mode. And oh my god, if someone's mean to you, we need to shut down Fortnite forever. Guys, at the end of the day, this is a competitive, difficult video game. Trash talk is good for you, by the way, and that's a pill that not a lot of people are exactly ready to swallow. Guys, I'm sure that some of you have seen it, but there's a common phrase that's often thrown around my age group. For context, I'm 27 years old. There's something to the extent of, oh, people today, they'd never survive an MW2 lobby, a BO2 lobby. That statement is more factual with the people today than saying the grass is green. And you know what's even more nuts about this? Is these people think that they're so above you that they make fun of us when they say that. They are so chronically online, living in their own little bubble of love and care and non-toxicity that if you were to say to them that, hey, you're playing a video game, grow up, they actually laugh condescendingly at you. That's how bad this situation has become. They have become so chronically online, dependent on likes, dopamine, and validation that they can't conceptualize any sort of other worldview other than the one they've forced themselves into. And they're laughing against a worldview that the vast majority of the public thinks. And if anyone like that is still by any chance happening to listen to this video, they will still hear what I had to say and laugh at how crazy I sound. That's how backwards the world is right now. And I want to know, like, where all these kids' parents were. By the way, another pill that people aren't ready to swallow, by the way, is like that. And not everybody should be allowed a phone and not allowed on social media, okay? It's corrupting the minds of all the NPCs to the point where this little Twitter bubble that people have found themselves part of a community, it's their own little world. Meanwhile, the vast majority of the actual world thinks that dying in a video game isn't a big deal because it isn't. It's an online video game, guys. I don't know why we have to be making a video about this. And these are the people who have power over other people and influence. This tweet that you're seeing on screen right now, guys, this harmless statement, yeah, it reached a bunch of people, and people started talking about, like, oh, like exactly what I was saying. Oh, yes, so I'm glad you're comfortable people saying slurs online. Who's comfortable with that? Very, very, very few people. So what I wanted to do, guys, is because this ended up reaching the wrong crowd of people, I wanted to actually delete it because everyone equated that to me being okay with dropping N-bombs. I don't need that sort of ridiculousness in my life, so what I would like to do is just not have the attention and delete it. But the problem is, once I do that, then the screenshots will come up. The next guy, who probably looks just like me, by the way, he'll say, hey, see? He only deleted it because he was called out. Like, no, man, I wanted to delete the post because you guys are so desperate for your next hit of dopamine that you take no issue with potentially ruining someone's livelihood, you know? That being YouTube. YouTube has become a third job for me. I've had people taking Epic Games, Fortnite status. They want to take away the Epic partnership, which, by the way, that happened. Like, there are people calling for, like, from this one little harmless tweet, I've had people calling for myself to be removed from the partner program and other people, like, agreeing with the tweet over here. It's sick. I can't imagine living life like this. I can't imagine living life so desperate for validation from other people in a little bubble that they would want to do that to somebody. And typically, guys, like, if someone says something mean, it's really no big deal. I get hate comments, I can laugh about it, I can take criticism. But the Fortnite community is it's just on another level. Their influence about somebody can spread pretty quickly over on X, and like, guys, I've been working tirelessly on this channel for over 5 years, daily uploading with a handful of breaks, like the breaks that lasted like a few days maximum. I'm barely making enough money to raise a daughter and afford to live like as I'm living right now. YouTube and the supporter creator program are literally keeping myself and my family afloat. Because I posted this, such a correct, meaningless thing, I actually in the back of my mind had to worry about that. So I made a mistake. Now I'm stuck. Hopefully nothing happens, and I doubt anything will happen because, you know, tomorrow, couple days, someone's going to say something, along the lines of like, hey, I kind of missed the inflatable. And then they'll be like, the most toxic person of all time. Again, though, I just can't imagine living life like this. I don't like something, so the rest of the world shouldn't like it either. It's too difficult to just back away. It's like that meme with the guy on the bike, taking the stick and sticking it into his front wheel, falling over, and then holding his knee and blaming somebody else other than themselves because their leg hurts. You literally do not have to play Fortnite Delulu. And people are like, would you just tell somebody being bullied to back down? All while knowing that, like, real life and video games aren't nearly the same thing. You quite literally can close the laptop. You quite literally do not have to play Fortnite Delulu if you are in a bad situation. Take this, for example, guys. And I don't want to hear this, that it's a bad comparison, because it's going to sound ridiculous, but it represents this community perfectly, okay? Let's take bowling, for example. I don't personally like bowling. Never have. Found it boring. Don't understand how people enjoy it. I've always hated bowling. You know what I do about that? I don't go bowling. I don't force myself to go to a bowling alley and start getting frustrated that somebody else is doing better than me at bowling. Maybe I went bowling one time, which, again, I did not have to do. Someone bumped into me. They ended up looking at me funny. Is the answer to then go to the government and have a big campaign to ban bowling for everybody else that enjoys it? Why don't you take it a step further with that? What would happen if somebody ended up using a slur in a bowling alley? There would be, and there should be, major consequences for using slurs in public in a bowling alley. But they're being mean to you? That's another story. And again, people being mean to other people killing somebody and saying, fuck you. I'll point to it again. If you were to have an honest conversation with a lot of people, talking about slurs in video games, it can kind of boil down to, well, I'm actually not okay with any sort of people being mean online at all because you agree with them. That's what most people think. Most people aren't okay with the extremes when it comes to actual harassment. But we know the majority of the people complaining about this either use it as a mask for their own issues, or like I said, they're the ones with the skeletons in their closet. This is actually what happens, and this is actually, if you were to dive into it with specific people, it really is that simple, guys. Like this post. If you do not like Fortnite Delulu, don't play it. Report the people you don't like, and go about your day. We know that it isn't 100% of the lobbies. We know that most people who queue up to play are normal and they behave normally. And we know you are actively seeking out the issue or just yapping so you can get your likes on X, you can get your likes on Twitter, which is your livelihood because you have nothing else going on in your life. And then they all have the moral high ground about it, which is crazy to me. It's unbelievable. It's so backwards. And for those of you who, guys, are legitimately bothered playing the game for whatever reason, why do you let people have so much power over you and your emotions? There are like a million other modes to play that Epic Games has made in Fortnite. But I like this one. I want to like this one. It's the toxic people online who are the problem. You can like it. You're choosing not to like it. I saw a comment under one of these conversations that people are saying that, or someone said that people are expecting Epic Games to treat Delulu like a daycare. That's a perfect word for it. But honestly, for those of you just having like someone being a little bit mean to you in a video game, I'm sorry, grow up. Don't be so sensitive. And for those extreme cases with slurs, you have to acknowledge that it is going to happen in an online video game. We can hate it all you want. I hate it too. We can disapprove of it until the end of time. But people are still going to say them. If you really, really can't handle it, which I understand if you can't. I can't relate to that, okay? It shouldn't be happening. Don't play the mode. Don't put yourself in a situation where those types of things happen. Life's not fair. Would it be nice if it was? Yes, but you're going to hear them. Report them. Move on. If you guys follow the channel, you're probably familiar with Clark Clint. Last time I ended up actually playing Fortnite Delulu with him, I kid you not, we loaded into a match. He started talking and we heard, get that, insert extreme word there. Like, it was disgusting to say to someone. You know what he did? He didn't let that person have any power over him, and he continued on with his day, and then we continued playing and having a lot of fun together. I really actually respect that mindset that people have. Does it suck that it happens? Absolutely. And again, I can't relate to the hurt that it causes most people. But to stay stoic and to go about your day in a positive way, I truthfully respect that with all of my heart. But if you can't do that, that's fine. Just don't put that yourself in that situation. But for most people, realistically, they are freaking out because someone killed them while emoting and, masking it under like the usage of slurs when they probably have never heard one. Like, you hear it every once in a while, but you get my point. They're overblowing the issue. I do, again, guys, I do want to talk about women playing Fortnite Delulu because they never get a break. So look out for that video. We will be providing you with the uncomfortable but correct take on that situation. And why don't you check out this video on screen right now where we talk about the old Primal event in Fortnite. It's a little bit of a reaction. It's old but gold. I'd love to have you there. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care, everybody.